Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what will probably be the best Islands game ever. I know I tend to exaggerate at times, and as a commentator, it's normal for me to have a lot of emotion associated with games. But trust me when I tell you that this game matches the quality of this game which you might have seen 10 months ago on my YouTube. If not, you should probably see it, by the way. The best migration ever, featuring Tato in what was the finals of a migration event. That video was 1 hour and 12 minutes long. It was a legendary game. Over 250,000 people saw it. The quality of this one is possibly better, and it's an Islands game, and I cannot wait to cast it. I need to start off to get a few things out of the way here. First off, our blue player is an Austrian guy named LB10. Now, I don't know the story behind his username. I don't know if he's living in France right now, and so he changed his name to France number 2. I'm not sure. But he's a very, very nice guy, and I'm excited to cast him versus Metal, who is one of the best American players in the world. And the best way I would explain Metal is probably a fine mix of memer and high-quality gamer. He's still in the top 50 of the world, but some of his games is spiral out of control, and this one is definitely no exception. Now, if you're a fan of Metal, Metal will be playing on my 24-hour stream versus the Vietnamese legend Quang. That will be on September 7th. Now, I'll post more details on this on YouTube so you guys have an idea if you want to stop by for the first time. But he said he's so excited, and he said that every time he plays Quang, he can't stop himself from laughing. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of laughter from viewers and myself who's casting alongside Dave. I'm excited. Also, during that, and I brought this up a few times, I will be giving away Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition keys. So if you're not already hyped about that, get hyped, because DE2 is coming, and you'll have a chance at getting the game. So this is an Islands game. They weren't planning on playing Islands. They're playing a full random map pack, and they ended up getting Islands. So random civs, random maps, and this is going to turn into one of the most special games of all time. Teutons is a civilization that doesn't really perform well on water for LB10. They don't get Bracer, so that's no good. I'm not even sure if they get Heavy Demo. The fact that I don't even know their water tech tree tells you how rarely they're picked on water in big tournaments. They just are not picked on water. They tend to be picked on land maps where they can boom and use their eco, but you know, there's still better options for that as well. So it's a mid-tier civilization which has some really strong strengths, and I really don't see how Teutons can excel against Japanese on water unless they mix it up, which we will see in this game, trust me. And the reason I say that is because Japanese, everything they have is suited towards water. They have cheaper lumber camps, they have cheaper mills, cheaper mining camps, so they save tons of wood to make fish, which you do on a map like this. And then they have strong fishing ships. Their fishing ships have tons of HP and armor. It's nearly impossible to kill them. On top of that, they could always transition to strong land. If they're making galleys on water and then they want to use those upgrades with fletching and bodkin arrow to affect their archers, they could save all that wood again, make some archery ranges, and make some archers. They can do some great things. The only thing that comes to mind with Teutons in this matchup is go all in, go crazy, and try and take advantage of the one big bonus that you do have on land, and that would be a tower rush. Now, I'm kind of a noob, and I'm also really bad at cleaning up my PCs. I've already seen the first 18 minutes of this game. And the other bits and pieces I skipped through, but I didn't fully watch because I didn't want to be spoiled. But I did cast the first 18 minutes of this game, and the reason I did that was because I ran out of PC recording space. So I'm going to act as if I've seen some of this for the very first time, and we'll see what my acting skills are like. But yeah, LB10's going to tower rush, guys. He's going to tower rush, as he should. If you're going random civs and you have a civ disadvantage, you should go all in. He's researched loom. He drops off the food, and he's on his way to the feudal age. Now, there's 2 islands in the center here. This is... Well, hold on a second. Why is there a 7-tile gold in the center? That's not normal, is it? That's kind of weird. Normally on islands you have 3-tile golds in the center. I thought that I'd missed that LB10 didn't have his gold. But no, he has his gold. Anyways, there's 2 islands in the center, and way back when, in an islands tournament, my first Age of Empires 2 tournament ever, I accidentally landed one of these islands and built 3 archery ranges on it before I realized that it was not my enemy's island. And my Twitch chat trolls me endlessly about that moment, and I'm here to tell you, Twitch chat, that LB10 is human as well. No, he didn't build 3 archery ranges, okay? But he sent his scout out, and he realized right away, oh boy, this isn't Metal's island. Now, what makes this game great is that Metal's looking to do the exact same thing. So Metal's coming forward now, this is his point of view. He catches a glimpse of LB's transport, and now he sends all of his villagers onto the very same neutral island. And he saw the transport, so he said double landing. He knows LB must be around here, but he's just now realizing that, oh shit, I'm not on his island yet. He also told LB what was coming as well. Now, the cool thing about Teuton's Trush is that they can fit more than 5 villagers inside each tower. They can fit 10, and shoot extra arrows as well. But transport ships only hold 5 units, so another batch of villagers are coming forward for LB. And he's just passing Metal as Metal arrives. LB gets his tower up, and he weakens this villager and will use his scout. Doink! And kill it. Oh, and can he get the other one? No, he's probably... No, he's not able to get that one. A strong start for him already. And then Metal, you know, he might have even killed that... No, he didn't kill the sheep. It's rotting away. I mean, he didn't know exactly where LB was or where to go. He was blind to that. Ran underneath the TC. And funny enough, LB10's freaking out and building a defensive tower already. Both of the players are housed at the same time. This is the beginning to what will be an extremely messy and ridiculous islands game. Make no mistake, there will be some sloppiness, but it's epic. Everything about this game is epic. Do not skip ahead. Trust me when I say this. It's beautiful. Now, I loved what LB just did here for a moment. He repaired this fire galley, but I fear that he didn't repair it enough because he won't kill the fish. Metal's fire galley still has more HP. He is towering here, though. Oh, and he's going back for more repairs. This is a clutch move. Oh, never mind. I guess the repairs weren't enough, or he failed to do so. And now Metal can use this fire galley to delay LB's tower a bit. And he's building his own. Now, instantly when towers start going up, you have to think, okay, where are the stones? LB10 has both of his stones here, so he's fine. He'll have stone. Metal has a stone here and a stone here. He has scouted that stone. But this is the first tower that he has built at home. He didn't build any towers forward. He just built an archer range and a forward mill. That's some Japanese flexibility for you. LB10 also sees the archer range, so he should probably wall the units out, and he's in the process of doing that. Now, LB has 7 villagers inside this tower, and he realizes, okay, I can win this tower war. Metal's not a fan of that, so he does the right thing. 5 villagers inside his tower, and he has his own villagers fighting. This will end up being interesting because both players need repairs. This is better for Metal? This is better for Metal, right? Yeah, this is better for Metal. Okay, LB loses his tower. There's gold here for Metal. There's gold here for Metal, so he has one on either side. They're fighting with villagers. It's scrappy stuff, and the archers have moved around. Again, very scrappy. But the big thing to remember, LB10 has lost his fishing ships. Metal has 5 fish working for him. Big eco bonus. Now this was sloppy. I'm not sure what happened there to Phil, but even without Phil, they'll be just fine. And fletching for Metal too, so his archers will be stronger, his towers will be stronger. Really just needs to get to this stone, though. It's a worrying sign when the Teuton player's running around with villagers building towers, and you haven't gone to stone for any counter towers. I guess LB10 can't easily run in towards the TC fire, so he'll try and batter down this lumber camp. I like to see a player of Metal's quality just stone wall here behind the lumber camp to prevent that. Similar to what LB10 is doing right now with the stone gate. and a tower. So the game has slowed down considerably, okay? And yeah, there's the gate for Metal. They're both going to swap berries. Can't say I've ever seen that in an Islands game before. Metal's been eating all the berries from LB. And LB decides, oh, you have a taste of mine, I'm going to have a taste of yours. But he should continue to tower, especially because the gold's there for Metal. Now, this is a very long game, but Metal will look back and be kicking himself that he didn't go to stone. Had he gone to stone, he could have at least towered here earlier. Oh boy, and now what's happening? Oh, his villagers are going to build the next thing! They're running to the house, or he's just running to his TC, okay. Well, he opened the gate, though. Oh no, Metal, what are you doing? Oh no! He opened the gate! And that woman's attacking the gate and holding it open with her head, just Age of Empires things, and she's like, come on through, buddies. Buddy old pals. Oh, Metal. It's these things that really remind you that these guys are not in the top 10, but instead the top 50. Oh, what a mistake. But it makes the game interesting, guys. It makes the game interesting. He was able to snipe a few units here, I believe. You know, it has the villager lead and the fishing ship lead, but he's beginning to lose a lot of space. Loses that villager. This will become more and more messy. Now, as LB is microing with vills and looking to build towers, I need to point something out, and this is extremely important. Metal got screwed over by his map generation. Check it out. He has 4 wood lines, 2 of which are denied. He has 1 here and 1 here. He could lose access to that. Teuton towers are no joke. Now what Metal also has is 800 food because of the fish. And with a little bit of gold, he could click up to Castle Age. He also milled the deer earlier. Good things, he's on this gold. He didn't go to stone early though. And you see this a lot in pro games where one player will click up the castle, and right when they do so, that's when they're most exposed because they don't have resources after going for that upgrade. Metal is probably feeling very confident because of those fish, but this is risky business. He's on his way to Castle Age. He's gone to stone now. LB10 has a circle of towers, a semicircle of towers around Metal's eco. It's creeping in, and it will creep in even more for LB. Now this is a nice idea for Metal. He's built a transport ship to send the archers around these walls. But LB10 was expecting this possibility. Very experienced full random player. And he built outposts already. And he's prepped the tower. So I guess if Metal wants to sit underneath the tower, he could. Let's see. No, he didn't realize. Or he didn't react in time. Okay, these are 3 very weak archers. I think while LB has weak vills, he could batter these down. Let's see. Doink. Oh, you're attacking the wrong archer. Oh, got him. Garrison, got him. Okay, those archers will die. LB's building another tower forward. It's crucial that LB10 does damage. He has to make Metal pay for how passive he was with defensive towers. It was greedy play from Metal, and now Metal is building a defensive tower after LB's is already up. And guys, this is what a tower rush can do to you. Check it out. This tower is shooting LB10's vills below this tower. This tower is fully garrisoned. I guess not fully garrisoned for Teutons, but it's garrisoned. And Metal says, "Dadgum." And I guess LB realizes this is very good for me. He also realizes that Metal is in Castle Age. But look at the vill difference now. There's a 10 villager difference. And Metal, he's losing villagers everywhere. LB10 will repair again. We saw this already before. This could be where the game ends. I've seen many games end at this stage. Sorry, I'll try and keep you focused on the vill HP so you can see what's going on. The tower HP, that's barely staying up. Metal just needs to get rid of this. He needs to end this nightmare. Can he do it? More repair builds for LB10. Metal's tower goes down. LB10's tower, it's staying up. 29 villagers for metal. And this problem continues to get worse and worse and worse. Now, I would resign. I would flat out resign. You can let me know in the YouTube comments what you would do, but I would resign at this stage. I would be so incredibly tilted. I'd say, peace out. I'm going to make a YouTube video. I can watch other people have pain. Metal says, this is cancerous. Yeah, so a little bit of tilt. LB laughs with the 11 taunt. Yeah, the fact is, if that tower didn't go up, if the garrisons didn't work for LB, he would have been dead. He hasn't had fish. He didn't have the builds for a little while. Now he has 44 builds versus the 30 of Metal. And Metal can barely take resources on his own island. I just want to make that very, very clear. Can barely take resources. And the knights that Metal went for died underneath the TC fire because Metal can't afford upgrades. He can't even afford more reinforcements. Maybe the play is to get a knight around or something, but I don't know. LB says, you did well, though. Metal says, of course I thought it was one, so I put 2 stables on your island. Yeah, I mean, they're talking to each other about it. It definitely seemed like Metal was going to win if he had one defensive tower here, but he didn't have that. That was the one thing LB10 could do, and thank God, Metal. I just want to thank you. YouTube wants to thank you for not doing the right thing in that moment, because this game turned into something else. Just unreal. You know, no surprise that LB10's continuing with towers. He still has not clicked up to the next stage. Metal is building a tower here. And, oh, he tried to build a gate like a micro nerd. But he ends up getting a build kill out of it anyway, I guess. But he doesn't have stone. He doesn't have resources. He barely has space for farms. So what's he gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what he's gonna do, YouTube. He's gonna transport all of his villagers, which can't collect resources freely, to new lands. They have spilled the tea into the ocean, and they're going elsewhere for freedom. I don't think it's religious freedom. I just think they want to chop wood. Metal's villagers want wood. And they're loading up into the transport now, 5 at a time, over to LB10's island. It's amazing. It is amazing. I'm telling you, this game is great. Metal can't take his golds. He could get to this stone, I guess. But that's something that LB would see. So he can't take any of his golds, any of his stones. He can barely even take the wood in his island. So I agree, like, this is what I would call cancerous. This is rough, man. The life that Metal is living right now, not so good. But he's hanging on. He didn't resign. He has some determination. LB10 is fighting with Feudal Age Spearmen, and he's getting forging now, after already getting the armor. So I think he realizes the situation. He realizes that, yeah, Metal might be in Castle Age, but he's very weak, or is he? Look what this Mangonel is doing for Metal. He's bringing himself back into the game. He repaired the Mangonel, the Pointy Boys died, and the villagers who were hoping to complete yet another tower died as well. So now we have one player in Castle Age with 41 villagers and 5 fishing ships, and then another player in Feudal Age with 48 villagers and no fishing ships. Economically speaking, in terms of numbers, it's pretty damn close. But then again, you look at Metal's side and you realize, well, his villagers aren't working properly. So he has to fix that. He has more gold eco than anything else. These villagers are just standing around a house. These villagers are construction workers. Now, if you're actually a construction worker, I hope you don't get annoyed with me. I know construction workers actually do work, but you probably know the joke. These guys are 3 hours into an 8-hour shift, and they're taking their 6th break of the day. I'm sorry. Listen, if 1% of my audience are construction workers, I'm gonna take a hit, but I'm just joking. Just make fun of me, because I'm an American, and I'm a gamer. Just call me fat or something, alright? Evens it out. At least you exercise when you're not taking a break. Sorry, forgive me. I'm in what I call a caster's high. I am 5 videos in right now, recording for my trip away. And much like runners get runners high, casters get casters high, and that's what I'm in right now. So I might be a little bit silly. I don't know how Metal is still alive. It is honestly impressive, but he needs to repair this Mangonel quickly. Oh no, you Dumbo Knights? Okay. The Knights almost blocked the repair bill. Another tower for LB10. An outpost for LB10. He'll see the villagers. I guess Metal forgot about those guys. Taking an extended break out there. Metal just can't hit this area easily. And if you're thinking he should transport, he probably should, but he also needs this transport for his villagers. So, it's absolutely unreal. LB is really concerned about this Mangonel push. So he's trying again to build a tower, and this is becoming very sloppy for him. His KD has been impressive for a while, but he's losing some vills now. Puts the totals at 51 villagers for LB and 49 for Metal. But with this many Teuton towers and a market, I think he can go up. With this market, we might see LB start buying some food. Now what's funny is, and you might have learned this with all the nothing maps, where you have a lot of one resource, if he buys food to get to Castle Age, that means that Metal can sell food for gold. Not that he's really starved of gold right now, but this is presumably the only gold he's going to take, because he can't get it at his own island. Oh, but he did get over here, and he's on that stone and that wood now. It's just a sad sight. We really need to play the sad violin as we look at these towers all throughout Metal's town. Oh boy. But another shipment of villagers looking for jobs. They show up. Metal's Mango dies, but he's getting solid hits. Real solid hits. I'd love to see a monastery from him. And with the monastery, he could heal up those knights. LB10 has got to be frustrated, because he thought he had these resources denied. He didn't have a tower on the stone. He sees Metal's on it now. He also sees Metal is on wood there. And this grip that he has around Metal's economy is starting to slip a little bit. But, you know, Metal hasn't responded with a counter tower. Why is he not responding with the counter tower? Well, he doesn't have stone. Because he's building a freaking castle at LB10's base. What did I say, guys? 72 population for LB10. He's on his way to Castle Age, and 71 population for Metal. This game is an absolute work of art. It's like one of those paintings that look really gross, but are worth millions of dollars. That's what this game is. Thanks to LV10's towers, but... Ugh, the efficiency, man. 3 mining camps. It's a 3-for-1 deal with Japanese. But the castle's forward, and you know what? This castle will shoot down some of the towers. This also means you can make some samurai to counter the spearmen that LB10 has. But LB10 is still working his way in with towers here, and I think, again, Metal's stone is what hurt him. Perhaps a defensive tower here before LB10 arrived would have been perfect. That's twice now that he's put himself in a bad position by giving LB10 some map control. But I'll tell you what he is doing. He made a siege workshop at home, and he's trying to ram down some of these towers, so maybe he'll get the map control right back. He has the transport ship over here for the knights now. That's good. So he'll send 3 knights over to LB, maybe to stop those towers. Once LB10 is in Castle Age, he gets a tech for free, which I thought was the most overpowered tech when I was new and playing the game. It's called Murder Holes. And then I learned the game and came to find out, sadly, Murder Holes is one of the least researched techs by high-level players. but that means that the towers have no minimum range. But I'll tell you what, guys, this transport has caught LB10 off guard. Metal snipes 3 villagers. What a play. And this is important, too, because LB wanted to create knights to probably take out the rams and maybe even get to Metal's economy back here. So Metal's making a stable at home. He's transported knights home. And who knows what he will do elsewhere. I think a big concern is that all of this farming and gold eco is safe for LB. Metal, his eco here is safe, and his eco here is kind of safe, but it's not pretty. And now, regular Teuton towers, which are already pretty strong with 3 murder holes, are about to become guard towers. 70 population for Metal. If he loses 1 unit, yes, 69 population. Nice. 64 population for Metal. Look at these towers. I feel like they will never go down, and I feel like Metal will never get access to those resources. The clock's a ticking for him, isn't it? Now at this point, while I love what he's doing here, and he might not know what we know because he's not casting right now, I really think he needs to get some knights over to LB's land on this side. LB10 just laughs because the knights are melting to the guard towers and Metal just says dot. And I'm not sure what LB10 means when he says we won tournament. Okay, so I think some of LB10's private messages are coming through. I have no clue what that is because I don't speak, what is that, German? But there was a drop in this game, so I just need to tab into the actual game and go into part 2. Again, don't stalk my recorded games, please. And we're back in it, back into Capture Age, and here we are. So, there was a drop, and so they had to restore it. We're right back in business, 67 population for both, right back where we were. And poor Metal. You know, I feel bad for him. I really do. This stable stay up for LB10. The towers are stronger than ever. And good luck with these knights. Where are you going, buddy? Ugh. And he can't easily push here either. That's so many towers. In fact, if we zoom out and double click on a tower, 20 towers. 30,000 HP of towers for LB10. And towers don't need nerfed. Towers are fine. We don't need the nerf towers. Let's all thank the Lord, the Age of Empires Lord, that this was not Koreans. Metal probably would have been out of the game then, because the towers would have had even more range. But every time Metal tries to ram down towers, LB10 will arrive with knights. See? Look. At first he dives in to attack Metal's knights, and then he goes, oh, a ram. Let's kill that. Now he shows up with some spears. He's building a forward monastery for conversions. Metal is slowly running out of gold. He has farming eco over here. That's something, but I could see this getting worse and worse for him on the other side. How can he defend? How can he survive? It's ridiculous just how much map control LB10 has at the moment. And it is ridiculous just how many turns this game has took, and we're not finished, boys. We are not even close to being finished. So let's talk about Metal's position. He does have this gold, he does have this wood. Same over here, gold, wood, and some farm space. He does have a relic, that's nice for him. That gives him a little bit more gold. He really needs to expand, but I don't think he has a solid answer, at least at home, to expand. He almost needs to push into LB10's land to expand, and that rhymes, because I'm the man. Duh. Yeah, because I think it's easier to push this than it is to push this, at least currently with the amount of knights and spears and now the monk that LB10 has. I think so anyway. Look, LB10 will just TC Metal's island. There's nothing that Metal can do about it. Man, have you ever just felt like life was like this? Like there's towers everywhere you look. You have an idea, You get passionate about something, and then more guard towers blocking your way. I'll tell you what, guys, there is a way. And you might not know the way right now. But you have to build those siege workshops, build those stables, make those knights and rams, and smack life in the face and say, I'm going to the Imperial Age. Metal is on the way to the Imperial Age. Holy cow. Only possible because of the fish that has brought him in food, because I can guarantee you it was not the farmers. An inspiration. That's what you are, Metal. An inspiration for other weak men. So, when I had said a moment ago that Metal would have to push through LB10's mainland, I didn't think he could do it with Mangonels against guard towers. I didn't think he could do it unless he had a bunch of rams. Instead, he's going to imp. He could make some trebs. LB10 has been fully focused on pressuring Metal's island. He doesn't have any defense except towers. So if the towers start to go down, then he'll need to shift focus somewhere. And this will get very interesting. You know, another thing, I see Metal has a villager over here. He might be thinking of making a siege workshop for maybe some capped rams? He only has 9 military right now, and that's not great. But thank goodness that he has the fish. Now he's thinking of going pikemen. Japanese infantry do attack faster, so if we're comparing Japanese pikemen to Teuton knights and Teuton spears, the Japanese pikemen would do very well. But LB10 has a crap ton of knights. That is an actual term of measurement, is crap ton. Look it up, Google it. Wow. Well, the knights will clean up anything that's around this TC. However, Metal has wisely walled in these villagers around the barracks, and he's beginning to make the spears. And he's transporting these villagers away to safer territories. There is a real population problem in this world. You know, all the rich people bought up all this land. There's plenty of resources here, but only two owners own it. Look at this. And all the peasants are amongst the towers elsewhere. They're cramped, and they're getting destroyed by these knights. Every time I look at the population, it is even. 100 population for Metal and 96 for LB. And that's not the worst fight that LB10 could take, because the pikemen still are not upgraded much. They just have +1/+1. With the attack speed, there's something, but still he had more numbers there, so he's slicing up villagers, slicing up pikemen, and he'll kill this TC. Now, meanwhile, he will have to deal with a trebuchet on this side, and this is where he realizes, oh shoot, I need some form of defense here. But LB10 just took the population lead away from Metal. Vill counts are 83 to 83. Remember, there's fishing ships for Metal, but it's the numbers. It's the numbers of military. Can he get enough numbers out? Can he get enough upgrades? Can he get gold? Because he'll be out of gold eventually. Can he get stone? He's out of gold at LB's island. But, you know, he killed LB's town center. He's killing some towers. He's starting to push in. And LB10 will click up to the Imperial Age now. So very similar with the Feudal Age, Castle Age shenanigans we had earlier. Metal clicked up first. LB10 took a big old fight. And then LB10 was later to Imp. I think it was worth it for LB. And if he could get these knights in here, it would be beautiful. If I were Metal, I would lock the gates. And I would also continue to collect the relics. He's collecting another one now. Good work from him. Ballistics for France #2, aka LB. And chainmail armor. So I think he'll continue with his own pikes. It's probably the smart play to start. You don't want to invest in many more knights at home. Oh, another tower. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And that tower will hit the wood. Oh, poor Metal. No. Metal, I feel so bad, buddy. I feel so bad. LV10, just delete a few of them, man. Have a heart. Do you even have a soul? Ugh. Well, what's a counter to pikemen? Man-at-arms? Well, I guess it would be like longswords, the champion line. Both civilizations get champion. So I thought that LB10 would go with pikes with combination with champion, but he seems to think he has the food eco and the gold eco to go for champs. A problem then becomes he can't really push the castle, and he doesn't have his own castle to make trebs. So right now, LB10 has 3/4 of his island, maybe I'd say 2/3 or half of his island. Metal has half of it, and then LB has 2/3 of Metal's island. So still LB10 has more space. Now, I haven't talked about it a lot, but if you notice, there's fishing ships in this corner. Metal has continued to redock. He's redocking, and the fish are helping him out a ton. So that would be an avenue that LB10 could take. Deny that by going on water now with some fast fires, possibly. And maybe that's something he'll be kicking himself for, not getting to water earlier, because Metal has already been struggling on land. Metal has the best halberdiers in the game. Japanese halberdiers are insane. And you know what? Japanese halberdiers versus two-handed swordsmen. I think that the halberdiers will do good. And look at this push from Metal. 130 population versus 110 population. And these pointy boys are doing work. They're doing some real work. He will lose some ground over here still. And this transport ship will get shot down. But he's on the stone here. I like that. He could even get that gold. The comeback is on, guys. The comeback is definitely on. Score has got to be menacing. That's never good when you see you're behind so far in the score. He even defended here with his tower. Both players, I guess, have been repairing and garrisoning. Just not so easy to pay attention to when everything else is going on. Unreal. Now let's see. Two-handed swordsman. They could do with some upgrades. But they've killed a Treb. Metal has a castle. He could make samurai as well. I like it. Definitely doesn't have the economy for elite samurai, but halberdiers with regular samurai, much better than straight halberdiers. There's even a militia in there. Let's go, Metal. Let's go. Some monks as well. Can he push this back? Can he kill LB10? Oof. LB10 still has access to stone, still has access to gold. There still has this tower shooting. If he defends here and starts pushing back, I think life will just be more and more difficult for Metal because he won't have the space for eco expansion. He will not have resources. But he's doing a great job. And now all of a sudden, I begin to think score doesn't matter much. Not that it really did in this game. It's been really confusing. It's all positioning on LB10's island. In theory, LB10 could expand his eco more here. Yeah, look, he's heading a third town center. So as he loses ground at his base, he's booming up a Metal's base. Ooh, but you see what LB10's making, guys? Two-handed swordsman and some gunpowder. Now, gunpowder is the answer to the halbs, it's the answer to the monks, it's the answer to the samurai, it's the answer to everything that Metal is making right now. Would force Metal to transition into skirmishers or archers. He's kind of at the limit for resources. I've been liking the constant transports from Metal. What a game this has been. Metal has more of LB10's island than LB10 has of his own. And the same could be said on the other side. It's just such a special game. Two very good players. But the population now is 137 for Metal, and it's dipped down below 100 for LB. Now, as a player who plays this game a lot and has watched a lot of games, that's the number that starts to worry you. That's when you begin to think, my luck has run out, I have no chance anymore. And if you look at the bill count, LB10, he's 25 behind. He'll lose, what, 30 more possibly? He doesn't have the fish. Surely it's over for him. That's what I would think. But I'll tell you what, guys. The counterattack is in. If this was any other game, the game would have ended back when Metal failed with that tower. If this was any other game, the game would end now. But it is not any other game. It is the best islands game ever. LB10 is about to lose his whole island, but he figures, screw it. I don't need that island. There's no gold or stone there. I want Metal's island. And so he's creating more villas over here. He's 50 villas behind, but he's creating more villas. And all of Metal's military is forward. So LB10 is arriving with the knights. And if LB kills everything that Metal has over here, Metal will lose 30 villagers. It's not clickbait. It's truth bait. That's what this game is. It's insane. And what has been the one weakness for LB10? I think it's the fact that he has allowed Metal to get water. And now he's docking. And if he gets fast fire ships and Metal doesn't react to that, Metal could lose all of his fishing ships. And he has almost a non-existent food eco. Look, he has 200 food right now. These farmers are getting raided. And there's maybe 6 working farmers over here. LB10's still in the game with 51 population. This is no joke. He is still in the game. Still has stone, still has gold. Metal, not really. But thank God Metal got the relics. He does have 3 relics. Also could snag this one out of LB10's monastery eventually. So, what does Metal need to do? He has 46 military. It's all on the wrong island. He needs to transport it. He is collecting gold here, by the way. Another big thing. LB10 sees it. What do you think LB's gonna do? A tower! Of course it's a tower. Oh, by the way, if LB10 has fire galleys, it's possible that the transports could be sniped. And Metal is attempting to send some military over right now, just as he has done these samurai and the Treb. LB10 transports 2 knights to the goal. He'll garrison his tower. Oh wait, okay. This is good for Metal. He's coming over here. This is good for Metal. Oh no, his transport got sniped. Whatever. I think he'll kill the tower. Okay. He did survive here too. He made a panic barracks and made some halberdiers, but it's not efficient. He has 30 idols out of his 68 villagers. LB10 has just as many working villagers. This is nuts. Nuts, I tell you. This is Poverty Islands. Holy crap. Well, Teutons do have cheap farms, so that helps with the food eco for LB. You know, the fire ships are upgraded now. He has more on water than LB10 does, or than Metal does, sorry. LB10 has more than Metal. Woo! Another tower for LB. Surprise, surprise. Now, I don't think that will work. Metal's been making his own defensive towers here. Would be nice for both of them to get access to the stone somehow. Well, the game has not ended yet. And I'm sure I will thank them again once it ends. But thank you, LB10 and Metal, for playing this game. Thank you for not resigning at the point you did. Okay, because many players out there would have. Many, in fact, every single top 10 player would have resigned back in that one instance with Metal's Tower. Every single top 10 player would have resigned after LB lost his eco. I would assume, right? There's no way of knowing for sure. And maybe certain players would have resigned once they saw that their halberdier was trapped in the woodline. I mean, but not Metal, okay? Not Metal. He has guts of steel, and he's going for glory. And he's making his own fires now. LB has fast fire ship. How stubborn has Metal been in this corner? Unreal. I think that LB10 needs to push this more. But he seems really focused on doing some other things at the moment. Notably this gold. But maybe he's transporting now so he can tower here. Yeah, it's probably it. Maybe a tower or a siege workshop there or something. But with the amount of craziness that has happened in this game, I'm impressed with how much they've been able to do at once. They're very fast players, holy cow. And maybe this is what Metal needed for a while, a TC. Take a page out of LB10's book and town center this island. 1 hour and 15 minutes into this game, and I can tell you, neither of them want to lose. To put this much effort, this much time into a game, this crazy, no one wants to lose. Especially, you know, it's got to be in the back of their minds the whole time, like, hi, Mom, I'm on YouTube. Because if I send this to T90, he's gonna, like, freak out. Oh, I freaked out. I'm speechless right now. I am as speechless as a guy who's supposed to talk can be. Metal might not have fast fire ship, but he got the numbers he needed. He still has some gold control there. I'm sorry for not following LB10's transport. Oh, he's here with those vills. I'm not sure what he will do with them. I keep seeing that LB10 has all this food, but he's not doing anything, and the gold too. Maybe he needs to be a bit more patient with his numbers, instead of running out with low numbers. Just a 20 population difference. The eco's better for LB, if you count the vills anyway. Fish is still working for Metal. He was able to save them. And also Metal got this relic a moment ago, so he has 4. Though they are split up. He has 2 at home. I don't know which base you count as his home, but 2 here and 2 on the other side. LB10 will snag 1. And he's researching heavy demolition ship now. I think LB10 needs bombard cannons here. He's needed bombard cannons for a while. A few bombard cannons to kill Metal's towers. It's taken far too long. With bombard cannons, that would force a response from Metal, which would probably be Halbs, because that's all he has. Hand cannon, bombard cannon here would be the answer, but there's a lot going on, and he doesn't have the wood to build the ranges when he's going for water, so maybe the shift in priority is a bit late for him. See that upgrade? Dave would be proud. 1 hour and 20-minute horse collar for Metal. I mean, in his defense, he hasn't had that many farmers anyway. But his farms would not have expired as early, I can tell you that much, if you would have researched the feudal age farm upgrade. This is a masterpiece. This is a game that I will reference, well, forever. I mean, I still reference that migration game, and that was 10 months ago. I'll reference that for a long, long time, and I will reference this for a long, long time. Oh my goodness. I don't love the heavy demolition choice for LB. Metal is just doing a better job of producing with the resources he has. He's doing a much better job of producing with the resources he's bringing in. And I think this is catching up to LB10 in a negative way. Still doesn't have hand cannons, bombard cannons here. This is crucial space. Metal has stone now, so Metal could build more towers. He could maybe build a castle. And you know, if he builds a castle on this island, he could begin to make some samurai in combination with his halves, maybe make some trebs for siege. 52 military for Metal and only 8 for LB10. Has the pace of the game caught up with him? Is it late in France or Austria or wherever he is? What's he waiting for? What's going on now? He's played so good up to this point. Okay, there's some barracks now, so maybe he'll make champions on this side. And there's a castle for Metal. So, again, I think this was the first time I've spotted a big mistake from LB10. We spotted some 2 smaller mistakes from Metal earlier that led us to this point. But not taking control of the land here was a bit of a mistake, I think. Now, this is where he has his only eco. Whereas Metal is on both sides. So Metal could always take a page out of LB10's book. And if he loses this eco, just go to the other side. They could completely swap islands, right? Now, I agree. Two-handed swordsman and champion, if LB10 chooses to do it, is very good. But it's not so good against samurai. It's not so good against castle fire. And I think it's just clicked in his mind. Like, oh, shoot. I needed bombard cannon. I didn't get bombard cannon. Is it too late, you know? Because he's still going to fight back on water, and he might catch metal off guard. But I believe it's what he's making now, right? Tell me the guy has chemistry. Hold on. You know what? You know what I need to do? I need to go out of the game real quick. In here. Into the tech tree. Tell me he has chemistry. He does have chemistry. I thought he had chemistry. What if the game crashed? I would lose my mind. Okay. So he's transporting villagers over here to pressure. That's a good idea. Oh, okay, now he's making bomber cannons, of course. Should have just been more patient. But my point is, I think he could have done this a bit earlier. And now metal, he's starting to breathe again. He's even rammed down these towers. So he can finish off that gold. There's 300 there. And we're kind of back where we were before. This is a replay of what we saw on Metal's Island earlier. Well, wait, no, LB10's Island earlier. Look at this naval battle. One of the first real naval battles that we will see. These demos connect nicely for LB10. And now look at the populations. This is an insane game. After 1 hour and 26 minutes, they're at 135. They're both at 135. But which population matters more? Is it the fire galley population? Or is it the infantry population? Well, if it's the infantry population, Metal has the lead, but then again, he's also making halves versus two-handed swordsmen. And the two-handed swordsmen have full upgrades now. And the bombard cannons are out. This game has had more swings than any game you'll see in a long time. LB10 begins to expand on this side, or try to. Using a few two-handed swordsmen to protect his villagers, he's building a TC. We'll see if that actually goes up. He's pressuring the gold miners here. That's gold that he will want. He is actually completely out of gold at this point, guys. Despite having so much of it for so long, he is out. And he only has one relic. Now, Metal is getting chemistry, and Japanese do not get bombard cannon, but he could make hand cannons out of some archery ranges. That would be an idea. The TC is denied. Told you, those Japanese halberdiers are beastly. Are they beastly enough to push this, though? Are they beastly enough to keep the castle up for Metal, who has 160 food and 200 gold? We'll see. We will see. LB10's almost out of wood, actually. 2,500 wood in the bank, but he's almost out of wood. Look at this. He's going out. He's choosing to fight. No, both players were a bit hesitant. But man, Metal does have a lot. 3 trebuchets. Trebs outrange bombard cannons, but they can't roll around and dodge like bombard cannons can. LB10 isn't liking this. I think he's slowly realizing if he loses this position, he loses the game. There's so many halberdiers there. And with the attack rate, they're doing enough. They're doing enough where Metal has killed 1 tower. He will kill 2 towers. He will kill 3 towers. Possibly 4, possibly 5. Slowly but surely suffocating LB10. LB10 finally knows what it feels. Or how it feels, sorry. And I think, more importantly, LB10 hasn't had room to expand on this side because of that denial earlier. LB10 is as cramped as he has ever been. Metal has 75% of the land control. Metal has more efficient villagers. 1 hour and 31 minutes into this game. Can he finish it off, guys? Can he finish it off? It's looking likely. LB10 just has so much to do now. He would need to make 2-handed swordsmen. Then he would need to he'd need to keep his siege alive. He would need to expand to the other islands. I just don't know if he could do everything he needs to do fast enough. Whereas it's very easy for Metal to just push straight in here and send a few units over here. LB10 did get the TC up, and he has more population. It's just that he has 60 idle villagers. And only 10 can fit in the transport ship at a time. Hey, fight with the idle villagers. They weren't working for you anyway. That's what you guys get. Told you guys to farm, damn it. Now you have to do the hard work. Oh my god. Did you see that? LB10 has lost his siege. 30 idols for Metal and 40 for LB. Numbers constantly changing. But LB10's back over here. Don't tell me that he's gonna do this all again. Don't tell me this cycle will continue. I don't know if we can bear it. I don't know if we can bear it. Oh my god. Yeah, LB's completely out of trees over here. This is the first time that he's probably ever wished for a Force Nothing game. And you know what? He has trees here, and then Metal has trees here. That's it. Otherwise, it's a woodless game. Call a doctor, get some Viagra. Maybe wood will sprout up on your side, but right now, there's no doctors. This is Age of Empires. And that's bad for Metal's economy, and that's especially bad for LB10's economy. He sniped 1 of 3 trebuchets. It's not helping the problems he's having here. It's not at all. But he's somehow creating stuff over here. He's doing his best to transport. There's still gold here, actually. No stone for tower, either of them, but he could collect it. And poverty, nothing. So low eco. Metal still has some fish, but LB10 did kill some of them. The halbs, the towers, and the trebs continue for Metal on this side. Well, sorry, not towers, but the halbs and the trebs. You know, LB10 has his other relic over here. That's something. Also, he has a lot of houses. Pretty much his only working farms are on this side. Metal at least has working farmers. Yeah, he has a lot more working farmers. Okay, so, this shows, if you look to the bottom left, this shows the amount of food a minute that Metal's bringing in. There's way more than what LB10 is bringing in. It's still really low, but that's cool. That's a cool stat to see. Thanks to Capture Age, we have that. Well, LB10, you better start farming over here. No, he's going back to his old farms. Oh man, it's not often that this is allowed. Normally, when your king forces you to move to a different land, you don't go back. Alright, well, unfortunately, Metal is arriving. Metal's villagers, they're like, no, those are our farms now. The food per minute, 180 for LB10 is 400 for Metal. Metal has the relics, so in theory, he could afford more gold units like Trebs, which he's making now. And I think LB's working population is way less. He's had way more idols. He's doing his best to get villagers to work. As long as Metal pushes on the left, as long as he suffocates him here and stops any expansion, I think he's done more than enough on this side. This space isn't really of value besides the farms. For LB, it's this side that he really needs. Ah, and Metal is building a tower now. Alright. Oh my god, Metal lost the monastery, which had 2 relics in it. Come on. Oh no. He's finishing his berries. He's finishing his berries. 1 hour and 40 minutes into the game. Oh my goodness, make use of every resource. Your old farms. Your old berries. Where are they walking? Are they walking back to the TC? Whatever, you know? It doesn't matter. The push is in. This will finish off LB10. He's desperately building towers with stone he had to buy. He doesn't have the res. He doesn't have the food to make two-handed swordsmen or enough of them. And it's just a matter of time now for Metal. These trebs just need to slowly whittle down the houses and the barracks and the mills and the monastery. He is doing enough pressure on this side. The tower is on the wood line, that precious wood line. The less wood that LB10 has, the less food he'll have because he won't have the farms. Really, he just needs space, right? How did Metal stay alive in this ridiculous game? How? How did LB stay alive at some stages? Ridiculous. And I know this wasn't your typical Islands game. It was very comparable to that old Migration game that I referenced, actually. This one right here, and I'll have this in the video description if you haven't seen it. Because there's a lot of transports and stuff, and a lot of fight for land control. Water did play its part, but when you thought Islands, you probably thought a lot of galleys and demos. Not really, no. They turned this into something completely different. Such a long game. So exhausting, I'm sure. Ridiculous. And LB's trying his best, but I don't see him doing what he did before. That time where he left this land and went over here and stayed in the game. I don't see that happening. And Metal says, that was fun, GG, and then LB taps out. Did LB say something before? Oh, I guess he didn't. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe Metal, maybe we missed some chat or something. But, you know, these two, very evenly matched. This game, just of a different class, a different world. Unbelievable. There were a few instances where they could have done something, and I think maybe the 2K6s would have done those things. Specifically, Metal building those two defensive towers. That would have been huge. But, thank God for their mistakes. Thank God for the happy little accidents. Bob Ross would agree. Oh my goodness. 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 2 seconds game time. Let's go to the achievements and try and reflect. Let's go to the timeline. Very rarely do I get excited for a timeline, but my goodness, am I ever. 490 kills. We saw that in game. In an Islands game, LV10 lost 167 buildings. Metal lost 95. That statistic is so ridiculous to me. The food count was fairly even. Metal did have more. There were certain stages, right? Metal had the fish boom, but then he didn't have the farms. And then it finally got to the point where LB10 didn't have the farms, and he never had a fish boom. 38,000 wood collected versus 37 wood collected. 5,000 stone collected for LB10. So double what Metal had. I wonder what he invested that into. More gold for Metal? I wonder how much the relics paid off. Ah, look at that. That's the difference. So despite that center gold, it was the relic gold that made the difference. Because LB was collecting so much of that one gold at Metal's base. I mean, the villager high was very even. The map exploration was dead even. The castle and imp times were very different. And with each age transition that Metal went for, LB10 hit him big time. He did that in feudal, and he did that in castle as well when Metal was aging up. I can't pick out many big mistakes beyond the few I've mentioned, but if LB10 wanted to win this game, I think he needed the bombard cannons to push that northeastern island earlier. Look at this zigzaggedy, zigzaggedy, zigzaggedy timeline. Holy. Man. The battle events aren't exactly accurate because this whole game was a battle event. Well, I don't know if I can actually... I don't know if I can sum this game up and do it justice. But hopefully the title did it justice. Hopefully my commentary came close to doing it justice. This was legendary. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Now, I expect this to get a ton of views over the next few years, or at least that's what I hope, because the game deserves it. However, in the event you're watching this before September 1st, or September 7th, which is a Saturday for me, I will have that big 24-hour stream, and Metal will be stopping by to play Huang. We'll have other amazing players stop by for show matches. I'll be doing community games, giveaways of merchandise, gift cards, and Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. So you guys, by all means, can just enjoy the YouTube content. I know not that the stream's not for everyone, but if you ever wanted to stop by, that would be the day to receive some cool items and to get to say hello to me if you can't normally make it. That's all for me. I need a nap after that. Actually, I should probably get some sleep because it's 2 a.m. and I'm casting. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.